say that social accountability mechanisms refer to a broad range of actions. So beyond the voting, what actions are we taking that citizens, communities, and the SOs can use to hold government officials and bureaucrats accountable? So we have voted for PM and Co. We have voted for them. I understand PM is the most vibrant one we can have, and then the most forceful one enforces the issues. And so at that level, he is already responsive. So we know that with him, we can now apply the mechanisms very well. So beyond the voting, the different actions that we are taking as citizens in a collective manner to ensure that we get responses from the duty bearers. And so it can be initiated and supported by the state, citizens, or both. It can be initiated by, we said that it is both upward and downwards. So it can be initiated by us and it can be initiated by the states. Yes. So it's driven, but very often they are demand driven. I will insistently mention demand. Most often, that is what social accountability is about. It is demand driven. And so it is always coming from us. And so that's why we need to understand how to use it. Because most often it is us who initiate it. We, the citizens, initiate it. It is mostly the bottom-up approach. Are we together? Yes. So the various aspects. We said we need information and then transparency. So we need information. We need to have access to that information. Community review. We need to do information sharing. We will need that data. And so we said that to promote, create a two-way communication between government and citizens through access, disclosure, and dissemination of that information. So we need access to that information. So for instance, the development plan, do we have access to that? The different action plans, do we have access to that? The budget, do we have access to that? So I will mention for PM, this is the budget. But do we see what is contained in the budget? Do we know? So one of the tools we'll be looking at is how we get this information and how we use it. Yes. And then participation and consultation. So the consultation starts from us. It starts between and among us. And then the participation is bringing all of us together in groups, in networks. So we have the youth parliament, we have the VSNs. How do we come together? So it starts from us. So the participation. Are we participating in the budget processes? And if we are participating, how? Has anyone participated in the budget process before? Developing the budget. Has anyone, apart from the assembly members, has anyone participated? Media, has any of you participated? Yeah, I know for the media. Yeah, yes. So has there been some community budget hearings in your community? So they develop the budget, they now bring it to you to say, for this community, this is what we have put in the budget for you. Has that happened in your community?
No.
Have you participated in the budget hearing? Yes, so these are the processes you participated.
I only participated in, universities who have SRC and we have the General Assembly. So I've ever participated in a budget hearing.
Yes, so the participation is, a double edge when it comes to ensuring that the right thing is done, especially at the district assembly level. Sometimes we just need to push more and push more. And then I think that one of the reasons why we would have to have these networks, community level networks, is to ensure that some of these provisions are being implemented by the assembly. So if town hall meetings are not happening, and then the presiding member says there is no money, at the community level, how do we ensure that we push for this to happen? Because it cannot be that entirely there is no money, but it's also about prioritization. What are we prioritizing? And I think this is very important. So monitoring and oversight, that is where we look at the community report cards. So these are the social accountability tools that we'll be able to use to monitor and ensure there is an oversight over the work that our assembly is doing, so that we can all improve the services that are being delivered to us. Yes. So the approaches are summarized this way. So outcomes, we have the citizens report cards. These are the accountability tools we have, and then the outcomes that these tools can produce. At the developmental level, we can produce some outcomes using these approaches. And then at the institutional level, we also have outcomes we can produce using these social accountability approaches. So at the developmental level, we say that it can improve the quality of services that are being delivered to us. So if you look at the cycle we showed initially, so if we apply all these processes, you see that we can improve development outcomes, we can improve the services that they deliver to us. So we say program redesign and resource allocation to improve program effectiveness and public expenditure. So, for instance, when they come to us to have the budget hearings and all that, we can redesign at that level. We can redesign to tell them, okay, but this one, is it that we can move into this so that we redesign the process and ensure that the services are tailored better to our needs. Are we together? So improve governance through demand side, the approaches. So we said that social accountability is demand driven, and mostly it is initiated by us, the citizens. So we can improve the governance at the district assembly level, or we demand, we make that demand. And at the institutional level, we say institutionalization of continuous user feedback mechanisms. So when they come to us, they take the information, because we are the recipients of the services they are delivering, then it can improve, whatever approaches they are also using, because we are giving them feedback. Then they can use that to improve. The formation of community, government, or NGO partnerships. So bringing us together. So for instance, this is a partnership we are having with you right now. CDD-Ghana, SIMBA-Ghana, we are now having that community NGO partnership with you people. And what are we doing? We are discussing social accountability. And that partnership can still go further to have that community government partnership, so that we can work together hand in hand. Are we together? Yes. And then stronger linkages between the government and then the communities. So it creates that linkage between us and then the government, or us and then the civil society. So you realize that in the past few days, You've been talking to us, there is that linkage, there is that relationship. You can now pick your phone and then talk to someone from SIMBA-Ghana or talk to someone from CDD-Ghana. That relationship has been created. And then it's a strong one, because once you call, then you'll be responded to. I hope you get it. All right. Should we move on? Yes. Yes, so these are the social accountability tools we would be talking about more. Citizens Report Card is a tool that we'll discuss more on. Community scorecards. I asked somebody about community scorecards if they have heard about it. They said yes, they have heard about it. And I'm sure a lot more of you have heard about community scorecards. So we'll be talking more about community scorecards, public expenditure tracking surveys. We'll be talking more about that, bets. And then we will not be speaking more on the right to information. Yes, but I think that it's been activated now. When you go to your district assemblies, there are desks for right to information. You can activate the law, and then you can use that particular law to demand information. There are what we call confidential files in every institution, where they think that these particular documents should not be known to the public. But when you go to the district assembly level, some of these files are not necessarily confidential files, but they will still deny you access. That is where you activate the right to information law, and then you use the law to get those files. You invoke that law, and then you get those files. You get access to those files. And I think in Ghana, the person who has used the right to information law most is Manasseh Azuri. He has used it more than anyone in Ghana. Yes, since its the passage up till now, he has been using the law to demand for information. So, public expenditure management. We say that resources that are located always fail to reach the intended beneficiaries. Is it true? Is it true?
Very bad.
That the resources don't reach the intended beneficiaries?
Yes, very true.
Okay. And then this is caused by the lack of accountability. So it causes inefficiency, ineffectiveness, lack of transparency, and then service delivery is weak, and then it's also very poor. The services are very poor in quality, and it's very weak because the resources doesn't get to where they are supposed to get to. And so this is where public expenditure management is very important. But most often we mention that here, that sometimes the funds are very limited. And then we have that limitation holding us back because there are no funds. So this is what we are demonstrating. There are no funds. The funds are also leaking. The first service delivery is also leaking. You see that somebody somewhere pushing the funds. So like we said, some people are approving the budget. But they are not directing it towards your end. So they are pulling the funds. And the funds too are not there, they are limited. So it's been pulled. And then you see that a lot of people are also chasing the funds. And there are leakages. So where the contract sum in reality is supposed to be 10,000. The leakages is going out. It gets to 20, 30,000, 15,000. Then you see that in the end, the service delivery we get, the services we get in the basket, it's also leaking because no resources, so it doesn't get to us directly. Is this clear for us? Okay. Yes. So this is where we start with the tools. Participatory public expenditure management. 4 stages. The budget formulation stage, budget review, expenditure tracking, and then performance monitoring. So budget formulation stage and preparation stage. So has anyone participated in the budget preparation, the formulation stage? I know PM has been there. Honorable, have you been there? You've not participated in that. Honorable, have you participated in the budget formulation? Okay. Can you give us a brief?
Thank you. What I would tell you was that we submitted proposals or memos. It was like electoral area development plans that we submitted to the area council, to the assembly. These proposals were put together. And then another part that I also took part in was at the committee level, the financial administration committee level, where the committee members actually reviewed it. And then it went to public hearing and went further to General Assembly and then, Executive Committee, and then back to General Assembly, where the final approval was done. That is what I will be about it. Thank you so much.
It's about. So at the formulation stage, the participation starts from there. At the formulation stage, the participation starts from there. It begins from there, where we would have the area council, the community action plans, and the community action plans should come from us. Our voices, our views about what we need in the community should be captured in the community action plan. And this is what it is costed. They cost this particular plan, and then now put together the cost, and then the budget is formulated at that level. But it doesn't just stop there. At the budget review level, who are the members of the different subcommittees? How participatory is the process? Who is participating in the review? And at this level, it also needs our voices, because the beginning we initiate the whole thing. And this process, it needs to be participatory as well. But that doesn't, bring an end to it. We need to track. So, like you mentioned, if the process hasn't been participated, we don't know what the cost is. Even if we don't know, can we track where does the money go to? That process, we need to be involved. We should be tracking. If they say they were constructing a road in Mambuka community, how much is the cost? How much cement is going into mixing the concrete for the drainages? Is the same amount of cement going in there? How much is a bag of cement? We need to be tracking all these processes. And I'll give an example. We recently did some community outreach in one of the communities in Nalerigu municipality. And then it was an evaluation that we supported in coming through one of CDD's projects we are implementing. in that municipality. And we got some story from one of the community members who is also part of the community development committee. The person said when the contractor came to start the road construction, they demanded that one of the community members should serve as the foreman. But the contractor said, I have my foreman who is a technical person. If you know you have a technical person to support and assist the foreman I am bringing, then this is fine with me. They said, okay, we will bring somebody to assist your foreman. But it is not just the assistant. They are monitoring the foreman on behalf of the community. Now, it got to a point where the foreman was now reducing the amount of cement that goes into mixing the concrete. Then the person said, no, we are not agreeing to this. If you don't put the amount of cement it's required in the contract details, then I am not allowing this construction to go on, to continue. Then the foreman started shouting. And because we all come from this, you are the same tribe. I mean, you when they are speaking shit to you, you also respond in equal manner, measure, and all that. I said, well, I am coming from this community. The community gave me a task to monitor this particular project and following the contract details. So I am going back to the community to come and then support me to stop this particular contract and construction. And that was what they did. So they were tracking the process and ensuring that wherever the money is supposed to go, it actually goes there. And in the end, when we presented our evaluation and findings and results, they were happy. They said, this is accurate, this is fine, this is exactly what it is. You actually did the job on behalf of us. So we don't want to one day come to your community to carry out an evaluation and then we come with the results and it's like you don't even know what is happening. If you are not participating in the process, then it becomes difficult for all of us. And in the end, the leakages we saw in the basket, that is what we get. So we should all be participating in the process. And then performance monitoring. They actually delivering accordingly to specifications. Is that what is happening? We need to be measuring how the budget is performing. Are we together? Great. So these are our social accountability tools, community scorecard, budget and participatory budgeting. We already discussed this.
So I want to localize this for you and taking the problem that we talked about the two parties wanted to take. So if you want to do tracking, what should you do as young people? The first thing you can do, now that we have the presiding here, is to ask for your medium-term development plan for the last 4 years. The current one expires next year. It was done. So every 4 years, like the government of Ghana, every district assembly is supposed to prepare a medium-term development plan to say what they want to do for the next 4 years. Then within the period of the next 4 years, every year they will take something out to implement until the 4 year gets to end. The last current plan we have is 2022 to 2025. So every year, 2022 they will take something, 2023 they will take something, 2024 they will take something, 2025 they will take something until the 4 year is come. So for example, they will say for the next 4 years, we want to build 10 schools. So maybe they will say we'll build 2 in year 1, 3 in year 2. So they will spread it like that until the 4 years gets in. And the plan is done from the community level. So they start with the community to talk about what do you want to happen in your community for the next 4 years. Then they also present that, and then they put that together before they do the 4-year plan. So if you want to know about anything at all that is happening in your community, your first thing you want to do as public expenditure tracking is to go to that document. And that document that is done for the next 4 years, it also has the budget. So there's a budget also that covers for the 4 years. So the plan is 4 years, the budget too is 4 years. And every year we will take year 1 and implement it until the 4 years is completed. So if you want to know anything, any project that is going on in the district, just go. If the district assembly or the assembly is refused to give it to you, please just Google. Today information is not a problem. Just Google. Bunkpurugu Nakpanduri Assembly, Major Development Plan and Budget 2022-2025. It will come out. You know why? Because when the fight finish, they will submit it to NDPC. NDPC will publish it. Once they publish it, you can get it. So if they refuse to give it to you, you have to wait. The finance, the budget, when they finish, they will send it to the Ministry of Finance. They have the physical decentralization unit. Every assembly is supposed to go there when it's approved and dump it there. So once you Google it,